Vietnam is a country that has come very far from humble beginnings. Through its history, it has endured 3 separate wars. The first was against the Chinese, the second against the French, and the third against America. This war was the most recent one, but it had a deep impact on the nation. Aside from traditional warfare, the US also bombarded Vietnam with Agent Orange and other chemicals. These herbicides and defoliants left many Vietnamese deformed, injured, killed, and caused birth defects and stillbirth due to the dioxides that they contained. They also fulfilled their original purpose of destroying the forests the North Vietnamese forces used as cover, as it turned these areas into barren wastelands devoid of life. Yet, despite the effects of the war, Vietnam was able to bounce back into the thriving country it is today, coming back stronger through hard work and determination. However, that is not to say that everything is perfect. Despite the progress Vietnam has made since the end of the war, it still faces a number of challenges. Inequality is very much present in Vietnam, with some of the population residing in high-rise skyscrapers in the city, while others still remain caught in the grip of poverty, living in rural areas, caught in a perpetual cycle. The younger population of Vietnamese is motivated to break out of poverty to do better for themselves and their families. While their elders are quite content with their simple lifestyles, the current generation has greater goals and aspirations. However, even with their strong qualifications, they find it difficult to secure high-paying jobs, thus drifting back down when they could be achieving much more. Despite the vast effort and hard work these individuals pour into education, the results received are underwhelming. Additionally, many Vietnamese students do not acquire proper exposure, having limited experience with the outside world. They excel at studying and examinations, but lack lessons in practical applications of their knowledge. As they are not up to track with the pace of globalization and the rest of the world, this lack of awareness hinders them in their efforts. So what are the solutions? Externally, transnational corporations can set up foundation branches in order to provide more jobs for citizens. This will make Vietnam more appealing in terms of economical standards and encourage more companies to settle down in Vietnam. Another possible solution is for charity organizations to organize more interactive trips between students from Vietnam and students from other countries to increase exposure and widen the insight of Vietnamese students. Additionally, the rich and more privileged of Vietnam can contribute to the education of students by donating what they have to aid their fellow countrymen. The government can also contribute by coming out with education schemes similar to Singapore to encourage students to work for rewards. Scholarships, subsidies, and bursaries can all encourage Vietnamese students to study further before working to increase their knowledge and experience. They can also organize more campaigns to stress on the importance of education and also encourage them to study what they are really interested in before they end up not knowing where to go when they are adults and working. This will lead to a more independent and confident population. Finally, for the individual aspect of the solution, one possible method is a reality check to reveal to the Vietnamese what the world is really like and show them what they are up against if they plan to succeed in life. This would spark the motivation for them to do better to match or supersede the world's standards. One of the main reasons why Vietnam is not attractive to foreign investors is that it produces quantity graduates but not quality graduates. Their qualifications are not up to par with the rapidly changing and advancing world. They have to constantly better themselves to keep up with globalization. Thus, this reality check would show them the mark and drive them to achieve their goal. Secondly, motivation to succeed comes from many different aspects. One is from the government, where they offer monetary incentives for hard work. We believe the drive also comes from their families. As seen in the interview, the student tells us that she is very determined to make it far in life, and that her dream is to go abroad to study, so as to help her family and improve their living condition. This motivation and drive to move up and out of their comfort zone and to challenge the norm can also spur them on to improve themselves and to put others' needs above their own. Lastly, the people of Vietnam can start on the idea of pioneering something new for their country. This can be achieved by marrying the separate ideologies of past and present, and allowing the youth to use their talent and motivation to serve others and put their country above themselves. Vietnam is unique in many different aspects, such as food, culture, and their way of life. One of these aspects could be turned into a booming business that is uniquely Vietnamese and attract local and foreign investors. However, these solutions are not entirely foolproof and carry a number of problems themselves. Externally, introducing transnational corporations to Vietnam runs the risk of depriving the Vietnamese themselves of job opportunities. As foreign companies are introduced to Vietnam, so are foreign workers, and they are likely to fill up the available occupations, as the locals are unlikely to be competitive with them. In addition, bringing transnational corporations to Vietnam is a long-term investment. It will take a significant amount of time, effort, resources, and money to sustain an influx of transnational corporations. The government will have to constantly keep track of the project for it to succeed, and will only see results much later. Although encouragement from the government to study through monetary incentives can be beneficial, there are instances where it is ineffective. Some Vietnamese may have enough money already to survive, thus gaining no incentive to study from any rewards. Others are simply not motivated by the offer of cash. As position, viewpoints, and condition vary with different people, offering simple cash incentives is not a one-size-fits-all solution. Finally, there is an issue with the individual solution. Although the motivation to work for one's country and not for oneself is a strong one, it does not possess any form of incentive or requirement. Though some may be driven to work hard by this method, others may not find a point in it and simply ignore it. The decision to adopt the nation above self mentality is personal and not compulsory, so it is not guaranteed to be uniformly effective with all citizens. Each approach to tackling the problems Vietnam faces has its own strengths and weaknesses. Though they can all be applied, we feel that the most effective one will be the individual solution. We have already seen the drive and determination of the current generation of Vietnamese. If they can apply that motivation to not just furthering themselves, but furthering their country, then they can carry Vietnam to success in the future. It is given that not all will be receptive to this ideology, but those who are will still be able to pave the way for Vietnam's future. That said, the problems that Vietnam faces are intricate and interlinked. A simple, straightforward solution is unlikely to work. For Vietnam to succeed, the challenges it faces must be dealt with from all angles. The government, the people, and the rest of the world will have to work together in unison. But we believe that with enough time, effort, resources, and the right methods, Vietnam will flourish.